Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, you are now listening to Rob and Rat's World of Wonder podcast. So sit back, relax, and prepare your ears as they take you on a journey of all things weird and wonderful.
Okay, welcome along to another episode of Rob and Rat's World of Wonder podcast.
I'm Rob.
I'm Rats.
And welcome, guys. Episode 3.
Episode 3, we're back for a third episode. And this episode, Robert, we're looking into the world of real-life superheroes.
Real-life superheroes. But just before we get into it, I want to welcome any new listeners to the show. So welcome along, guys. And to those of you who have returned, congratulations for coming back. And thanks for coming back. And don't forget to subscribe to our Facebook and Instagrams.
And thanks for everyone who's liked it so far.
Yeah, and thanks for all the emails. It's fantastic. You can email us on...
worldofwonder2019@gmail.com.
Yeah, and if you like what you've heard, tell a friend, because that's how we keep it going. If we can get the interest keep speaking, then we'll keep speaking.
And if you've no friends, tell your mom.
Yeah, don't tell your mom you've got no friends. Just tell your mom to listen to the podcast.
Or you can tell you've no friends. Okay,
yeah, Mom, I have no friends. Listen to this podcast. Okay, anyway, superheroes.
Okay, we're looking into the world of real-life superheroes. Now, a superhero is defined as someone who has superhuman powers and does fight justice and all that. But real-life superheroes, if you look at movies like that have inspired this Kick-Ass.
Kick-Ass, that's the one that comes to mind, isn't it?
But these are real people from all over the world who don a superhero outfit to do good and fight injustice in the world.
They stick on the spandex.
Yeah, these are real people. Okay, we're going to a few examples, right? We're going to look at Phoenix Jones in Washington, Seattle. Phoenix Jones is a real life superhero.
Yep.
He basically donned a leather suit and just went out. But literally, he's armed with pepper spray, and he goes up to, like, if he sees a drug deal going on or anything like that, he just goes up and intervenes. And
does he just beat them up?
He doesn't beat them up, but he basically tells them to stop what they're doing, and he has them on camera, and he
wears a GoPro.
That. Yeah, wears GoPro and uses that. And that's a very dangerous thing to be at. Like,
yeah, he must be skilled. Is he a skilled fighter?
He actually is an MMA fighter. But
okay.
Phoenix Jones had his identity hidden for a long time until it eventually came out. But the reason it came out, he's been sued. He's been arrested. He's been sued by a lot of people for his use of pepper spray. But he's won all his cases in court because basically he had to unmask himself because he was taken to court, and rather than the papers announcing who he was, he wanted to unmask himself, and that was a big thing. But his real name is actually Ben Fodor, and he's a kind of semi-pro MMA fighter, so he actually can look after himself in terms of martial arts and stuff like that. There's a lot of them. In the UK, you've got Night Warrior, the Statesman. In Australia, one of my favourites is Wheel Clamp Man.
Wheel Clamp Man?
Wheel Clamp Man in Australia, who dresses in green and basically goes around if he sees any car that's been clamped and he cuts them free.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's a genuine guy. Yeah,
that's a pretty good one. I'd like that. I'd like to get his number.
And you've checked it out as well, but the HBO documentary Superheroes.
It is one to watch, guys. We will post it. And
it's funny. You can check out the trailer on our Instagram and Facebook. But one guy we spoke to from the Superheroes documentary, we spoke to Master Legend. Master Legend is from Florida, and the reason I like him is because he is one of the first. He's one of the kind of first to do this. He featured in the Rolling Stone in 2008. They did a big article about him.
Oh, he's doing it a while, so.
Oh, he is doing it a good while. He's getting on in age, but we'll just hear that in the interview. He won the sheriff gave him an award because he work he did while there was a hurricane in Florida. He did a lot of work to help out, and he got awarded a commendation from the sheriff's department. He featured in the HBO documentary.
Are these guys vigilantes?
They are, in a sense, do you know what I mean? But they do a lot of Master Legend does what he can to fight crime, but he also does a lot to help out the homeless. He goes out with bottles of water on hot days, gives the homeless food, and does what he can to help them. Amazon Prime, actually, they did a pilot episode on his life. He was played by John Hawkins. John Hawkins was in 3 Billboards. He was in Deadwood, but he played him in a comedy series on Amazon Prime.
Okay.
So, but the series wasn't taken on. It was just a pilot episode. It never took off. But it's interesting. He has his life portrayed in a comedy series.
Interesting, yeah.
So we're going to hear now from Master Legend.
Okay.
We'll hear my interview with the man, the myth.
Roll it.
And I always like to talk to my friends all around the world, that's for sure.
No, we're delighted to talk to you. We're delighted to have you on the show. You've made quite a name for yourself, since you featured in Rolling Stone in 2008. You featured also in the HBO documentary Superheroes and other TV and documentary appearances.
Oh yes, I have. Also that Amazon TV pilot too, which I wasn't. That wasn't me there. Now
I know. Yeah, he looks actually quite like you. You have a resemblance.
Oh, maybe 10 years from now.
Yeah.
Hopefully not.
In the world of real superheroes, you're kind of a pioneer. You're one of the first to wear a costume and fight injustice. Tell us a bit about how you became Master Legend.
As a young kid and all, I decided to become a superhero, fight evil. There was a time when I was coming home from school, and I come from an abusive family, and I looked in a garbage can. I saw some comic books, and then I got, and I was just a young kid. I mean, I was first grade, and I seen Batman, the Phantom, and Spider-Man, and all that, and then I seen, and I realized that there's something here. So I snuck them home, and it stuck in me. I was going to school a little bit there, and I seen these bullies, and there was this one bully guy, and I tried to fight him, and I did. I fought him and all, and I got in all kinds of trouble, and so I had to hold back for a while. But then I decided there's only one way to handle these bullies, so I made myself a mask and all, and I was a young kid. I made it out of shoestrings and an old torn up shirt, with 2 eye holes, and then I had a shirt and I put an emblem on it, and then one day I jumped out and all, the guy was pouring milk on these little girls' heads and stuff, and his mama, was the principal, like the assistant principal, evil lady and all that, and thought her son he's being playful. But no, it wasn't playful that day, because I jumped out, I threw on the mask from behind the corner, put on my shirt, had my backpack, I tucked it away, and went over there, and I gave him, what he deserved, and a good old beating. And so then I ran away, and he was on the ground, crying, the big bully. And I hurried up and got my mask away and the shirt, and tucked it away, and put it in my backpack, and came up there. And then the crowd was there, and the big bully, and everyone was laughing at him. And then they said, "Who did this? Who did this?" And there was kids said, "Well, it was a masked man." Another one said, "It was a superhero." And then I knew the legend was born. I gained powers. I have powers. I know it sounds crazy, but I did. I gained powers.
What, like, now, when you're out in the streets, Master Legend, like, what's the most dangerous position you've been in while out patrolling the streets?
When you're out in the streets, it's always a dangerous position. But then I've been in many fights, believe me. I've seen the emergency room a number of times, and but the battle goes on. Every day is a dangerous situation, it would seem, but a lot of times, when I was back in New Orleans, in my New Orleans days, that was a lot more dangerous. Here in Florida, it's bad too, I tell you. You never know when somebody's going to shoot you. All these drive-by shootings these days. I can't always have the bulletproof shield handy.
Yeah. But do you wear, when you go out, do you wear armor? You wear armor and protective gear?
Yep. It's a good protective gear.
There are other, like, real life superheroes who go around. Like in Washington, you had Phoenix Jones, who was an MMA fighter turned superhero. Then you have, like, in New York, I think the Dark Guardian.
Oh, yeah, I remember him from long ago.
Yeah,
Dark Guardian.
He kind of has some martial arts. He was a martial arts instructor. What skills do you have to look after yourself?
Oh, my skills? It's a long range of them. To sum it up, I've had to fight every inch of the way in my whole life. Every inch of the way. Metaphysically, physically, spiritually, and I'm still here. I have trained some kung fu, judo, many different things, but I have hands-on experience, and which is, it's not a proud thing. Sometimes people think, that I'm a superhero. I love fighting. I don't love it that much, really.
Unless you have to, you don't. Unless you have to, you don't do it.
No, of course not. Of course not. I do it as a last resort. I'm trying to help people, and I'm trying to set a better example as my main objective.
What is your relationship like with the law enforcement? And you're from Florida, and that's where you kind of go around. Are they happy that you go around kind of, taking the law into your own hands, I suppose?
Well, I have a certificate of commendation from the Orange County Sheriff's Department.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I remember reading something about that, where you helped out with the hurricane.
I got an award. That's an award. Yep, during the hurricane and all. And I've helped out many times. Helped out, if you read the Rolling Stone article,
I know. I saw you featured in the 2008 in an article. The Rolling Stone covered an article on you. That was cool.
Yeah. My friend back then, the lieutenant, was, he says it right there, that I helped him take down a few criminals. He was trying to keep it down and all, but what I actually did is I wiped out every crack house in Winter Park that I could. I wiped it out.
Cool.
They don't exist. They still haven't come back.
It's great. Like you're getting on now, like Master Legend. If you don't mind me saying so, you're in your 50s now.
Oh yes, I'll be 53 this month.
Got it. Like, is there any chance of Master Legend retiring soon and hanging up the cape?
I don't think so, man. Because one day when it comes down to it, Master Legend is not going to be dying and fading away, or heart attack, or they don't. I've told people this so many times before. I'm a metaphysical superhero, and I am beyond and different spirits. I know this sounds out of the ordinary to many people, but that's my belief that the day I won't die, it's called ascension. You ever heard of that? Ascension? I believe in that, and if you have the right spirit, a pure spirit, and try to be the best person you can be,
yeah,
I think that you can reach that.
Yeah, does Master Legend have a day job?
Oh, yes. My main trade is a carpenter.
Okay, cool.
Yep, that's my main trade. Electrician also.
Okay. No, that's great. Look, you know what, Master Legend, anyway, the way I look at it is whatever people do believe about or powers you might have or what you do is you've done a lot of work, like charitable work. You help out the homeless.
Oh, yes, I have. I got a stack of clothes right now to go give to the church and all. Sometimes, I do it a different way, There's a church nearby where I know a whole bunch of people come, so I get, it's being resourceful. Sometimes people want, how do you get that? Well, I know a guy, he owns a laundromat, and he gets all these things that are left behind and all kinds of good clothes, and he gives them to me. So I go and give them to the church. Hey, no one else was doing it, but there you go. These days, I'm still very participating in helping people. Well, I've had to change some of the methods because the city changed. When my old methods just don't work, so I had to use different methods of helping people. Where Master Legend's still out there, believe me, fighting evil. You wouldn't believe it. The other day, 10 people wanting to beat up on Master Legend.
Really?
But yeah, even women, big fat ones. And
do you get what is it? Just that you get kind of people kind of giving you kind of?
Can you God damn it truth? You see, I already told you good spiritual things. I wouldn't lie. They all were on me, and all because I tried to be a good person as the person behind the mask.
I suppose some people don't understand, you know what I mean, that you're just trying to help people. But I think that is the important message that you have, is that, like, at the end of the day, whatever people might believe about your superpowers and that, you're just trying to help people and do good, like.
I was just trying to do what I believe my appointed mission is. That's why I put on the full suit of armor, the armor of God, and my suit there, you know. That's what it symbolizes. A lot of people don't know about that, but that's what I tried to do, you know, to symbolize the full armor of God. And so that's what I told that one guy, the main punk of them all. I said, you know what? I said, you won't just be fighting Master Legend. You'll be fighting God, too. And, you know, when you got that kind of power behind you, the people, they run. I mean, they know, you know, but you got to have all your belief and faith behind it, too. But I'm, like I say, you know, the Master Legend's a metaphysical superhero. That's why I was explaining it to you. I go and do battles with things that are beyond just ordinary. I fight real demons. Real demons.
So you don't see yourself retiring anytime soon. You see Master Legend living on.
No. Master Legend will be transcended into Metatron, and I'll come back with such a raging vengeance upon all evil, especially child abusers, which I can't stand.
Do you know what? Well, look, thanks a million for taking the time to come on the show and talk to us.
Oh, well, no problem, man. I'm glad to be able to talk to you.
So that was the one, the only, the man, the myth, Master Legend.
Well,
he's eccentric.
He is eccentric, and wow, and you know, like it's hard to, I suppose, like as you said, a lot of the time, he's just doing good work and trying to be a good person.
Well, that's the way I see it. Look, he's a carpenter by trade, but
yeah.
I love how he even says, when I asked him, does he have a day job? Yeah, he goes, a carpenter.
Yeah, he keeps in character, yeah.
Everything. But look,
but it would be interesting if, like, you know, you were getting like a door fitted in your house and the doorbell rang and ding dong, hello there, it's Master Legend, and he came in and he'd probably fit the door and fight crime while he's at it.
Exactly. You know, as we said though, look, he's trying to do good.
He didn't mention in your interview, but on the video that I watched about him, he said that he has psychic powers.
Yeah. He claims to have powers.
Yeah.
Yeah. Beyond that of mortal men.
Yeah, but does he go into what they are? You don't know.
Not in my interview,
yeah.
But you can check out the HBO. He's one of the best characters in the HBO documentary Superhero.
Yeah,
so
it's fantastic. Yeah, and he certainly is a character.
And there's there's a superhero registry online where you can see all of the different superheroes that are all over the world, and it's interesting. And look, people do they find it funny and they find it amusing. But I suppose if you do take away from it, like at the end of the day, there are people who are trying to do good.
Trying to make this world a little bit better, a little bit safer.
Like I mentioned, Dark Guardian in New York there, he is martial arts training and he just goes out. There's a video online of Dark Guardian, which I could even, I might post on our Facebook or Instagram, where he approaches a drug dealer in New York. It's at night. He goes up to him in a park, and this guy stands up from a bench. He's like 6'5", 6'7", and he's basically saying, "Look, man, I got you on footage selling drugs." Like that's quite, and your man's fairly intimidating. They go, "Who the fuck are you?" You know, but it takes.
How does that go down? Does there a fight?
Your man kind of walks off and he goes away. But
the dealer.
The dealer does.
Right.
But it's quite for someone to go up and approach someone like that and say, "Look, I'm recording you. I got you on footage. Get out of here. We don't want your type around the park."
Yeah.
But it takes balls to do that.
It really does. Yeah.
So you would never do that.
No, I would not. No. But it is worrying to say that he's seen the inside of an emergency department a number of times.
Yeah, I know. That is the other side of it. Are they being safe? Master Legend does a lot for the homeless. You see there, he gives them clothes, and on hot days he goes out and gives them water, which is a very noble thing to do. But then I suppose if you are not putting yourself in danger when you have no kind of training, in a sense, I know he did say he's a metaphysical superhero.
Yeah, what does that mean?
I'm not too sure.
Okay.
If someone could let us know what that means.
Yeah.
Look, I found him interesting, and the world has superheroes. Do you know what I mean? We have real life people who are going out trying to do better.
If you could be a superhero,
Or if you are a superhero.
No, I'm asking
if I
you.
could be one.
What would your power? What would you pick?
I'd like everyone else flying. It'd be kind of cool.
Invisibility would be good as well,
I
wouldn't
don't
it?
know if I'd like that. I wouldn't like to hear what people are saying behind my back. Do you know what I mean?
Well,
I'd be paranoid, you know.
You could just sneak into places and...
I think you're a nosy bastard if you want to be.
I kind of am.
Do you know what I mean? Like, everyone wants to be invisible.
Invisible and fly.
Yeah. Fly hit by a plane. Maybe that's what they saw on that aircraft episode, in the last episode. Maybe.
Yeah, it's Superman.
But I suppose then Batman is not a superhero.
He's just super rich
guy.
Super
He's
rich.
No powers, though.
He's super rich.
Yeah, he can just fight.
Super rich. I bet you. Who's your man? Facebook. What's his name? Zuckerberg.
Yeah.
If he wanted to be a superhero, he could.
Batman.
He could do. Yeah, he could just do it. Like Facebook man.
Yeah. But that was the
Give
world.
you a poke.
That was the world. They're out there. They are out there.
They certainly are.
And thanks to Master Legend for getting on the show.
Yeah. Cheers. Big shout out to Master Legend.
Yeah. And look, so that was the World of Wonder podcast, episode 3. And don't forget, guys, to follow us on Facebook and Instagram.
Yeah, and you can give us an old email on
World of Wonder podcast 2019 at gmail.com.
This is the 3rd episode in. I still haven't learned our social media tags or our email. So for episode 4, I will
learn it off.
Yeah.
So yeah, guys, follow us on Instagram, Facebook. Thanks for listening to our 3rd episode of It's Been Real.
Yeah, and if you've been listening in, if you're anywhere in the world, let us know. Just let us know. We'd love to know who's listening in and where they are. So give us just so you can drop us a line.
Yeah, and watch this space for the next episode.
You have been listening to the Rob Rat Podcast. Be sure to check out our social media for updates on the next episode. And if you liked what you heard, then let us know by hitting the subscribe button, sending us a message, and telling a friend, because that's how the podcast grows. Thanks for listening.